What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for joining. Hope you are having a great one today. As always, and holy action figures, Batman, we got the dynamic duo from Saturn Toys or Mars Toys, however you want to look at it. Technically, it was Mars Toys that did the first batch of these, and then I think they sold really well, so they did a second batch under Saturn Toys. It's basically, these are essentially remakes of the Hot Toys figures, from my understanding, but I never bought the Hot Toys one. They're very, very expensive to get them now, and this is one of the many reasons that I love third-party figures, because this set was like 250 bucks. It was just an amazing deal. I got it from the wonderful folks over at onesixthkit. If you are interested, I think you can still hunt it down from there. Giant Toy and 16thfoutfitters are also very good options. I would stay away from some of the other places if you're in the 6 scale world. There is a lot of commotion lately going on about Toys Wonderland. Yeah, I would avoid them like the plague. But we'll just leave it at that. Mars Toys actually came out recently and yelled about them as well. So I think there's a whole lot of hatred towards that company at the moment, which hopefully they'll improve things and be good to go down the road. But anyway, I digress. Now this figure is, I guess I should say these figures, since there's two of them, are honestly, it's going to be taped. Hey, it's not. So this is really kind of a grail of mine in a weird way. I absolutely loved the 1960s Batman. Interestingly, it's kind of one of the things that helped Batman become, kind of the famous character that he is today. There's a lot of weird history with the show. I just spilled a whole bunch of hands. That's unfortunate. All right, well, we're working on it. There's some hands. We'll get all of this other good stuff out. So, kind of fun little tidbits about the show. Interestingly enough, when it first came out, it was actually set up as, we're just going to plop all of these in here. It was on 2 different nights during the week. It was on Wednesdays and Thursdays, I want to say. So you would watch the episode with the cool cliffhanger on Wednesday nights. You'd get that Join Us Tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channel. And then the next day you would tune in and see the exciting conclusion. Also kind of fun little fact. One of the things that really, that is so cool. One of the things that actually helped get the show kicked off was Playboy, which is kind of a weird statement, but one of the creators was actually at the Playboy Mansion in Chicago, and he noticed a bunch of the Playmates were watching some of the old serial cartoons and just having a great time, laughing it up. That sculpt is fantastic. And they realized, hey, maybe we could do something with this ourselves. They ended up doing the live-action Batman show. Now, a lot of people hated it when it came out because it was nothing like the actual comics. Obviously, it was a lot more poppy, really heavily focused on things like pop culture. Kind of took on like the Andy Warhol style with like the really, really bright color schemes. Just really made it a lot more fun and goofy than what Batman kind of was. So a lot of people hated it. Reminded me a lot of ways of the MCU in some regards, where you've got some really die-hard fans that are not happy with the products, wanting them to be as close to movies as possible, and then you have other people that don't care. I also think that's why I liked the She-Hulk show so much, because it really was kind of similar in that regard, where it was more of like a play on pop culture and just kind of fun little thing to do. Not blown away by the Robin head sculpt. It's definitely good. It's not as good as the Batman one. But in any event, these figures are pretty dang cool. I'm going to kind of keep this somewhat short and simple just because there's a lot of stuff that you get in this box, and I don't want this to be a super long video. But now Robin does have a little bit of movement restrictions. I think it's just the body that they used for him, though. It might be having a real hard time lifting his arms up that way. And I really think it's just the body style that they used. They obviously used a different body, just size-wise, to get him in the right proportions, but definitely good job on the uniform. I'm really hoping, so Saturn has done, or Mars Toys, they have done a Joker, and they've got the Riddler announced as well, so I am hoping that we get Batgirl and Catwoman down the road. That would be kind of super awesome. Which also kind of a fun thing about the show that a lot of people don't realize. Catwoman was essentially outlawed at the time. Honestly, a lot of the characters were. In like the 50s, I want to say, it might have been the 60s, they accepted the comic code, which basically it kind of had to do like more kind of wacky type stuff. So Batman went from fighting crazy people to fighting like aliens and robots and that sort of thing. And Catwoman was a little bit too risque, so they got rid of her. And then they brought her back in this show, gave her that cool little jumpsuit, and now she's, you know, one of the more popular characters that there is. Really the only one that kind of stuck around when they switched to that weird villain era was the Joker. And that's honestly just because it's pretty easy to take a crazy clown and turn him into a wacky goofball. This right here is probably my favorite accessory, and one of the things that I was really happy to get with this, if I can get it out. There we go. And I can't wait to have him spraying down King Shark with it. But you get his can of shark repellent. If you've seen the 60s Batman movie, at one point they're flying away in a helicopter, and a shark chomps on to Bat's leg, and he manages to get the shark repellent and spray it, and the shark falls off. It's an amazing scene. Some of the best effects you will ever see, hands down. Hopefully you realize that that's sarcastic, but definitely a fun moment in the movie, to say the very least. Now, one thing that I am impressed by is they actually painted the gloves correctly. So his gloves in the show were blue on the top and black on the bottom, and they actually did that, which genuinely impressed by. Kind of a little thing that goes a far way for me. Might have scuffed up the hand a little bit when I dropped them out. Can't really tell. Looks like it. Fortunately, it's just a matte black paint, so that'll be an easy thing to fix. I could throw some 2.0 on it, and we're good to go. You do get a couple batarangs as well, which are absolutely gorgeous. Really did a great job with this. And I do think a lot of it is just, you know, honestly copying the Hot Toys stuff, so kind of had an easy thing to start with. All right, so I'm going to be honest, I'm pretty sure these are their communicators, but it has been a long time since I have watched it, so I'm not 100% positive on that, but I believe these are just the little communicators that they use for each other. If you want to correct me, please do. I will be more than happy to be wrong on that. Kind of fun that they included them, if that's what it is. Like I said, I'm pretty sure that's the case, but again, it's been a long while. And then you do get some alternate faces in case you wanted to change them out. It's similar, like I said, to a lot of the Hot Toys Batmans, where you just get the little lower mouthpiece. And I have seen some people swapping these on different versions of the Batman figures that they've gotten. Mainly for lulz, but sometimes you end up getting some good-looking stuff out of them. But for the most part, I think you're pretty much just going to use it on this guy here. Now, overall, like I said, I really could not be disappointed with these unless they were complete garbage, and quality-wise, they really are not. You do get a good amount of movement. Legs are a little bit restricted on Batsy. Not too much, though. The suit's basically spandex, so you don't really have to worry about it getting damaged or anything when you pose them up, which I certainly appreciate. I have seen some people complain about the little clasp. It's honestly been a long time since I've watched the show close enough to notice if that's accurate. I've seen some people tuck it under the cowl. I'm pretty sure the clasp was over the cowl in the show, but it has probably been, you know, a good couple of years since I've seen it, so maybe I'll watch some tonight. You can't go wrong. They got that fun episode where they do a dance-off, which mainly just gives me a chance to point out that She-Hulk also had a dance-off. I don't know why I'm bringing up She-Hulk so much today, but there you go. I think it's because I don't like how much hate that show gets. It was great. It was a riot. Loved it. And I'm going to pluck out one of the stands just to take a little look-see at them. It is a generic crotch grabber that you get, but the base is pretty sweet. You don't have anything on the front plate. You don't really need it. If you wanted to paint Batman or Robin on there, you could, but let's be honest, when people see those guys, they're going to know exactly who it is. At least I would certainly hope so. Really, really happy with this set. Definitely recommend it if you are a fan of old school Batman, or if you just want something fun to add to your collection. Really, the big thing for me was the price point. Like I said, it was $250 for a 2-pack, which is wild. It's just absolutely wild. So highly recommend. Also check them out just for the other stuff that they've done. They do have a Facebook group up, so you can kind of hop onto that and see all of the new ones that they're coming out with. I know they've got Joker and the Riddler on the way. Really, really keeping my fingers crossed that we get that Catwoman down the road, and I would love Batgirl so much. Also, it'd be kind of cool if they did the Pink Pussycat, because I don't think anybody ever has, and, you know, why not? Also, I want to say that I think it was Leslie Gore that played her, the musician. I'm probably wrong on that, but I think she recently passed, so wouldn't be a bad way to go either. That's going to do it for this one. I do believe I've got Casca Reeves on the way. Sideshow sent me the notice fairly recently, so we should have that one this week. And then I got a couple other little things that I'm hopefully, fingers crossed, going to get to. Thank you all so much as always. We'll see you next time.